tried it a little bit different. I made my year-end yearbook part of my global year, and I just again put out a Twitter and asked people, hey, can anybody Skype me during my last week of school? I want to ask you a few questions and ask your advice to new educators. And of course, lots and lots of people, yep, I'll do it, sure. And we ended up creating a video of people all over the world talking about how they use the National Education Standards and technology, which is ISTE, and how they have already implemented them, have students talking, teachers, principals, and, really reflecting about their year and what's already being done. And what I found motivating is that, all these things I'm talking about are happening all over the world. It's just absolutely incredible. And then putting it into the hands of kids. Here's a young lady as part of her project in grade 6. We talked about our relationships with other countries. And so her getting involved with, an organization that was building schools in Africa and being able to Skype that school. And I had nothing to do with this. This girl, went and found this woman and ended up Skyping her. And it was just for her, it was probably one of the most meaningful learning experience she had because she was in control of it. And then, again, allowing people to share. Now, I think that, a lot of us are learning how to use Twitter with our classes. I know that Aviva, who's in this room at grade 1, she uses it with her class. But I think we need to be cognizant and careful about using all the tools I'm talking about in an appropriate way. I love the way Aviva uses it with her parents and sometimes putting your spelling words up there. But I have to admit, have ran into a few problems with Twitter with some of my students, and I've been very careful that we should have closed accounts for now. We still can get quite inappropriate followers and so on, and I don't think that parents and a community understands that this is a network that can be quite carefully monitored yet. But we did use it as a classroom, and so I would sign in with our classroom website, and our students then would share what they were doing. And I only think we had about 10 followers at the time, but it still made for them to feel that it was important what they were doing because we were sharing. And from there, I started setting these goals, and everything that I did had to involve collaboration, had to be student-centered. I wouldn't do it otherwise. I wanted to make sure that no matter what, I didn't do a unit on safety and digital citizenship. A unit is a standalone. It had to happen every single day that we would talk about these things, and that to make learning real, to make it authentic, to buy a paper or check out the web news every single day. And so, yes, plan ahead, but no, don't plan ahead. Having things available that are happening now is sure more authentic in learning than taking something from a textbook. So from there, I started blogging with the students, and even this was very difficult. I don't know how many people in this room can understand, but when you're in a district and you're someone that's somewhat new at doing some of these things, the support's not always there. And luckily, I'm in a district that's very supportive, but again, having open blogs becomes an issue. Who moderates? What happens at the end of the year when these blogs don't exist anymore, or you're not their teacher anymore, and do you let them exist? And there's so many issues that still our education system is not ready yet to tackle. I think that all of us here need to be very vocal about our feelings about this. But here's a student, and I particularly added his blog here because he was a student that was IPRC'd in Ontario. That means that they were identified as an exceptional learner with a learning disability, and was ready to actually go into a special class placement. But instead, he started immersing himself into a digital online world and loving it and feeling engaged. I think the engaging part was what made him want to learn. And he started learning how to embed all these things into his blog. And you can see here there's a time toast that he was tracking the golf spill back in, you all know the dates of that, and every day having to talk about what the new solution was. But then you also see below there he had a little video he embedded, which is a culminating activity we did with Canada's relationship with other worlds, and he was able to embed a slide rocket in which he audio recorded this. And what I find it interesting, especially because I do have some of my pre-students in the classroom right now that we're listening to, is that, this is a major project in a pre-service classroom to create a